Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries run through of Burnout Paradise. And in this episode, as we're starting a new recording session, we've got Paradise. We've got Guns N' Roses' Paradise City in the background. As we're switching over to the Hunter Reliable Custom, we're finally switching out of the Carson Fastback.
Oh, this is the crappiest looking car we've driven yet.
Only because we haven't repaired it and given it a paint job.
Work out what's best for you and just stick with it.
We're Rocket Rabbit, and today we're gonna pimp your ride.
I wouldn't necessarily call the paint jobs for the Reliable Custom pimping.
Boom, we just pimped your ride.
Well, we repaired the ride at the very least. Okay, so I have mentioned already that the Reliable Custom is one of my favorite aggression class vehicles in the game. It's got tier 2 speed, which means it can actually do race events if it wants to, just not very well. It's not so heavy that it is difficult to actually control, but it's heavy enough to where controlling it is both a challenge and rewarding.
Well, I tell you, these nice paint job. These god damn it, these enemy when you are not your own worst enemy, that is. The other racers are going to have a little harder of a time taking you out when you're a vehicle this heavy.
Yeah. Now, the big reason to be an aggression class vehicle in the overworld, though, is hunting down the overworld rivals, which I would like to have done with the Hunter Reliable in this part, but I don't recall if I actually get anyone specific. There are a couple of very specific ones that I want before we start doing the A rank license.
See, like just what happened right there. If we were a lighter class vehicle, we might have even gotten wrecked at that point.
Yeah, especially since that was actually an overworld rival, and we didn't get the wreck for him. Yeah. Hey, he's back. I think that's the Kruger 616 Sport. Yes, the Kruger 616 Sport. The upgraded version of the 616 Sport is the Arachno Sport, and I absolutely dislike that vehicle. So I will end up showing it off a little bit, but not because I want to. Anyway, the Reliable Custom Burning Round. Relatively simple. It's a mostly straight shot. Get to the ranch in 2 minutes. Think you can do it, Mr. Cloud?
And go. We can try
with our negative acceleration.
Well, is that not the function of the boost?
Kinda, sorta. Your boost very specifically isn't really for getting you up to speed. It's for pushing you past your top speed.
So it's not really a top speed if you can go above your top speed.
It kind of depends on your definition of top speed, because top speed in other racing games is actually the top speed that you get. Is actually the top speed that you get when your engine is fully revved out. Thing is, our vehicles specifically never actually get their engines fully revved out. I mean, it is possible to do it on slower, like speed tier 1 vehicles. But at that point, you can still boost to an additional either 10 miles per hour or kilometers per hour over. One of the other things that the aggression class vehicles are supposed to be able to do, and I have difficulty doing with the Reliable Custom specifically, is traffic check. Traffic check is when you are a heavier vehicle than the opposing traffic, and you can hit them from behind in order to, successfully get them the fuck out of your way. If you do it correctly with the heavier vehicles, you actually get boost for it whilst you're on aggression class vehicle.
And thanks to that massive shortcut, it looks like we're actually going to make it to the finish line in time.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Because we did some very unrace-like things during that particular trial.
We did. But we still got 20 seconds off of the needed time, so it's fine.
You made it.
Now we have the Reliable Special,
Has been delivered to the junkyard.
Which is just slightly faster by virtue of having slightly more boost than the Reliable Custom. I think it handles slightly better as well, but only slightly. It's not noticeably better, at least.
Oh, there's a thingamajig over here.
There's a stunt run over here, but since I'm in a very heavy aggression class vehicle, I'm not doing the stunt run in this. Not because it's impossible. No. Every vehicle can actually do every event in the game, but I don't want to because I have to not only survive the entirety of the stunt run, but also attempt to at least get a barrel roll simply out of principle.
Head-on collision. Your chances of dying in a car crash is tripled when you're going 80 or over.
No, only tripled, you say?
It's based on statistics, as in people had to crash their car and then die as a result in order to acquire this data.
Ah.
And here we can observe that, like music, cars also come from heaven.
Yes. Not all music comes from heaven, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Also, the Krieger 616 Sport. Haha. And then they throw a joke here. This car's probably smarter than you are, and they're not wrong. The Krieger 616 Sport is objectively smarter than I am, but I don't want to use it, so I'm not going to. Mwah.
Still don't have a car. I appreciate that the game is really getting you excited to finally have a degree 4 speed vehicle, because obviously because this is a racing game, speed is king.
Speed is king in quotation marks. The actual thing that really matters for Burnout is a combination of speed and handling. And I will be very honest about this. Most of the cars that happen to have above five speed or higher are just an absolute pain in the ass to handle. So I don't end up using them. No, not to mention I don't end up actually getting them because a majority of them are actually locked behind the Elite Burnout license trials.
You are here.
Are the AI opponents using the faster, worse handling vehicles?
I think we are allowed to see later on in the game exactly one instance of the Uberschall 8, and the Uberschall 8 is a Formula 2 car. So.
With our tank-like vehicle, we will resist all enemy incoming while we transport ourselves to our destination.
Except they're heavier than we are. That does not count, god damn it!
Yes, it does.
I mean, the game says it counts, so it obviously counts, but still, I like barely tap the rear side of that particular vehicle.
Just goes to show that sometimes the only thing more dangerous than a homicidal driver in a black-colored car is a parked vehicle.
Yeah, parked vehicles are very, very mean in this game. But we're back to doing Marked Man events specifically because whilst I'm under the aggression class vehicles, I'm able to do marked man or road rages, and I prefer to actually do road rages, but there are just so many more they're so much easier to spot marked man events around the map.
Your tire fell off.
Yes.
Oh, funny. Nice guys finish last. You are gonna crash.
There we go.
But that's okay because you just won the race.
And we've only got 10 more wins in order to actually upgrade our license to A class.
Upgrade in 10 wins, but with twice that many sins, you may learn something about this goddamn city.
Lots of things, honestly, specifically where all the super jumps and parking lots are. But yeah, because we've not done all that many road rages, our road rage count is still, our road rage targets are still very, very small.
This will be a piece of cake because we are in a vehicle that loves pushing and shoving.
Yeah. Like so.
He's an animal. He's a monster. He's out of control. Somebody stop him.
Take that, Spur. Or was that the Pioneer? It was either the Spur or the Pioneer. I think it's actually the Pioneer.
Breakdown. Go ahead and give it to me. Breakdown. Gonna take me through the night.
Breakdown, breakdown.
Go ahead, can't you see? Take
Breakdown,
down, it's alright.
All right, we got our 4 takedowns. End the event, please. Thank you, game. All right, so we got enough time for one more event, hopefully. It looks like we're going for this Markman event.
Oh, now we got some freaking metal on. Nice.
Yeah,
Just in time for a
Kill
super
Switch
drop.
Engage is on this OST, but only barely. It's like just this track.
The toxicity of our city, of our city.
The drive north to
I'm trying to remember. I think Aerials is in a previous is in a previous Burnout game, but I'm not entirely sure.
Aerials, super jump. If you don't land, you are a complete chump. Aerials, flying high. Oh, that is funny.
Now, to be perfectly honest, I would think that if we were going to do any System of the Down songs, it would be bring your own bomb. But
Nah.
I mean, the chorus for Bring Your Own Bomb fits pretty nicely.
Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they
No,
always
not
send the
lyrically speaking, but in tone.
Yeah, but tone doesn't enter into it. I mean, Twisted Sister just talks about nothing and how badly they want to rock in front of their high school teacher. System of a Down wants to raise awareness of the social commentary of exactly what is wrong with the world with respect to warfare and who fights it.
Specifically in its lyrical content, but the tone and the tone, cadence, and tempo of the track is, especially during the chorus, is is a bit heavier metal, along the same lines that Killswitch Engage is here.
So one more for them is, how similar do you think the propensity is to choose songs for this game and for a Tony Hawk's game?
Thing. What was your question again, Mr. Cloud?
How similar is the propensity for choosing music tracks for this game to a Tony Hawk game?
Here's the thing. Although this game uses a lot of pop rock, Tony Hawk 1 and 2 actually use quite a bit of pop rock too, don't they? Yeah. Okay, I will say that it is about 70% similar.